Hey guys, I'm Andree. Happy New Year. I did a video a couple of weeks ago and that video went into detail into how I look after my hair 5 weeks post relaxer. Now the reason why I did 5 weeks post relaxer was because I knew that the first 4 weeks of a relaxer, or maybe first 3 weeks of a relaxer, are the easiest ones. Your hair's just been relaxed. It's pretty easy to maintain hair once it's been relaxed with a short pixie cut. It's the latter weeks that are problematic for most clients. So the feedback that I've got from most clients is, how do I handle my hair at home? How do I make my hair look like it's come from the salon with the skills that I have and what I have at home? And I thought, why not do a video showcasing that? So that's the reason why I decided to do a video like 5 weeks post relaxer, because I just thought it's the most difficult time, and to be honest, I even find it a little bit more tedious to do around that time. So I thought, I always see people doing their hair fresh from a salon or how they maintain their hair at home, but never specifically on those troublesome weeks. So that's why I did the video that way. The video took you from me washing it, wrapping it, straightening it, and then kind of flattening it down or leaving it as is, and then I took you down to my night routine and my morning routine on how I style it. And still I got questions. So I thought I was always going to do this anyway, because I do think it is a little bit of a breakdown, and depending on your hair length, hair type, there are still many questions that you get, but I do try to simplify things for everybody. Now, everyone's got their way of handling their hair. I've got 4C type hair, so once the battle of regrowth versus relaxed hair starts, I tend to spend a little bit more time fixing my hair, as you will, in the front of the mirror, because I just find it a little bit, like, I just don't feel like it sits the way it normally sits when it's freshly relaxed. So it doesn't sit the way it normally sits when it's freshly relaxed, so I have to spend a little bit more time to make it look the way I want it to look. So I'm going to break down this video into not necessarily like necessities and non-necessities, but I've divided the products that I have in front of me into the things that I feel that I need and can't really live without, and then the stuff that I can live without, but why not, you know? So that's how I've divided it, and that's how it's placed out in front of me. I'm a minimalistic person, so one of the things that I always tell all my clients, and I will tell you all, is the simpler the routine, the easier it is to follow, and it's also quite easy to kind of pinpoint where the problems are, should you have any down the line. Now, if you're using a plethora of different products this month, and the next month you're using this, and the next month you're using that, it will be so difficult to tell exactly where the problem is if you should come to a problem. So I've been using the same range for the last 10 plus years, and this is including when I was natural. When I was natural, I've been using the same range. Now I've added, the range has grown as the years have gone on, so I've added 1 or 2 products at a time. I've introduced them to my regime, and I can always tell when something's not working, because then once I take it out, the problem is gone. But as a range, this is the range that works best for me. And unless it's for YouTube purposes, testing purposes, or client purposes, where I kind of test out products, this is my go-to range. So all the products I'm about to show you is what I personally use, but please, please, please make sure that you use what works for your hair. So that's a disclaimer. Make sure you're using what works for your hair, and if you would like, take the titles of what I'm using and not necessarily the name brand of what I'm using. So I'm just showing you what I use, but you know what I'm saying. So going right into it, I've moved on from using the First Lava Hydrating Shampoo and Humecto. I'm now using the purple range from Avalon, the Affirmed Moisturizing Starlight range, and the shampoos are now the Clarifying Shampoo. Okay, can you even see that? So the Clarifying Shampoo, the Nourishing Shampoo, and a nourishing conditioner. And treatment wise, I use silicone mix. Silicone mix is the bomb diggity. Now that has got nothing to do with Avalon anywhere. It's a Brazilian brand, I believe, and trust me, it has helped me immensely in all areas, and I'm always telling people to use it. I was using it when I was natural, and I've just stuck to it now that my hair's relaxed, and it's amazing. So that's the treatment that I use on my hair. In fact, let me go and get it. So that's the silicone mix. I use that as a treatment on my hair, so I use it about once a month, where I deep treat my hair for about 20 minutes. It says 2 to 3 minutes, but I leave it on for 20 minutes. So that's my treatment. Now once I do my washing routine, I then use the foam wrap lotion by a Firm Style, right? Once I use this wrap lotion, I set my hair with under the hood dryer. Now when my hair has just been relaxed, the heat, being under the heat, is not necessary because my hair is practically straight. Once regrowth starts to kick in, so like 5 weeks post, 4 weeks post, more 5 weeks post, because I relax my hair roughly every 6 to 7 weeks. Once I start hitting that 5 week post, heat is needed. I need heat, especially when we're coming up to the latter part of my relaxer days. When it needs a relaxer, heat is the only friend for me. And I say this to everybody. I used to say that you could wrap your hair and go to bed. Now, because you're not necessarily stretching out your roots, all that happens once you wrap your hair and go to bed is that your roots kind of shrink up a little bit and get really tight. So no matter how much you straighten it, unless you're parting it in really fine sections, which I don't, you'll find that you're still having like this springy effect in the middle, and it can be quite painful when you're combing it. So for me, I use the hooded heat dryer at work, or I use my blow dry attachment hooded dryer, and I don't even use it at the highest heat. I use it probably at medium heat, and within 20 to 30 minutes it's dry, and then I then proceed on to styling my hair. Now sometimes, depending on what my day looks like or how my baby is being, I will, what would I do? I will dry it at medium heat for about roughly 15 minutes, and then air dry it for the rest. Like, not air dry it, but just leave it under a headscarf until I'm ready to style it. Just because you just don't know. I just don't always know what my day is going to look like. When I've got time, I do that, but when I don't, that's what I do. So it really depends on yourself. Some people part dry it and then do that. I find that process is much longer. I really would much rather just get my hair dry and get on with the rest of my routine, but it's completely up to you. The next thing that I use is the conditioning cream hairdress. So this conditioning cream hairdress has been my go-to. It's great for presses, great for everything. I use a tiny bit, and I'm going to show you exactly how much I use. Like this much. This is how much I use, okay? And I use that all on my hair. I'm going to put it on my hair now, just because I've got it now. So I use about that much, and I really get in there like I did in the video. And if I need more, then I add more. But the reason why I don't use too much is because you don't want to straighten your hair and hear that sound. I've had experiences before where I've used too much of the cream and it's almost like stuck on strands of my hair, and because it's stuck on strands of my hair, it almost like, I feel like it burns those strands of my hair, because obviously I've had too much product on it. So I tend to use a little bit and then build up where I think I need some. What I also do with that is I put this Tonics Herbal Conditioning Hairdress on my scalp. So this has also been my go-to. So it's yellow. I literally use also a very small amount, and I nourish my scalp, because my scalp is very important. So those are the two products that I use when I am straightening. The conditioning cream here just has got heat protectant in there, so I don't have to also use a heat protectant with it, because this is like almost a 2-in-1. It moisturizes my hair and it has a heat protectant, and this is also really great for my scalp, especially that I do have a dry scalp, which I've talked about for many years. Having said that, my scalp has tremendously calmed down since last summer. We had a great summer, and normally once we enter that autumn season, my hair is finished, which is when I switch from this range to the Care Dry Itchy, or the Affirm Starlight. God, I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but I'll stick a picture. So I tend to use the shampoo more than anything, just the shampoo, and if my scalp is really bad, I might use the conditioner. But I normally really kind of scrub my scalp with the shampoo, and then I just continue on with the nourishing conditioner. So it just really depends on what my scalp is like, but it's been behaving so well that all I need to do is literally just use this range and use my scalp brush, and I'm flake free. So just to maintain, because I still get a little bit itchy sometimes, I just use this because I think it's just excellent for my hair. I use my, I don't really know what the Baby Sexy. Oh, okay, yeah, Sexy. So I use the Coriolis Baby Sexy. Please, I hope it's called Sexy, you know, and I'm not just making this up. Sexy, anyway, Sexy straightener. Now this straightener doesn't have a heat gauge, so it reaches 200 degrees, which is 395 Fahrenheit, in about 30 seconds. And this is what I use. This is what I've been using. This is what you see me use in my videos. This is the only one I have left. Now these straighteners are so hard to come by in the UK. I think packs sell them, but they're literally, it's just literally a hit and miss. So like my colleagues have tried to find it, and I just happened to go to a PAX and I found like 4, and I bought all 4. I don't know where you can find it because it's always sold out. But like I told you in the video, there is also the wool one, which is a little bit rounder, and to be honest, from a client's point of view, probably will straighten your hair the way you would want, because because it's round, it actually helps you to like get that motion in your hair and get the straighten or the bounce that you want for your curls. So that's what I use to straighten my hair. And in terms of like I don't use a comb very often, I'm not gonna lie. The only time I use a comb is when I do my hair like first day, second day, I use this comb. So this is the comb that I use. I tend to use this side more than I use this side, and this side is to really help me like pin out the curls or give it some volume here and there. So this is what I use this side for. But even today, for example, I really didn't use a comb. I tend to just use my fingers. I feel like that gives me the look that I want. Let me know what you think about that. But I very rarely use a comb. And oh god, this is a very terrible brush, but I use a fizzle brush because it just helps to just place everything in its place, like I really like the thin ones. I think I've got one here. This is like the brush that I like because it gets into like the little areas, like when you want to brush your hair or get these little bits at the back. Sometimes, like, I quite like these two, but this is like more my favorite because I feel like it really gets to those little areas, because sometimes you don't want to bother the rest of your hair. Sometimes you brush a bit and then it's just like, no, I do really want to brush that bit. So this is like my little baby hair. This is how I section out my baby hairs and make sure that it's in place. Like, this brush is excellent for that. So I mean, ignore the tail, but having a really fine brush really helps. But if you don't have a fine brush, then this, like a thinner brush, would do just as well. Now these two products are not a necessity. It's what I have because this is what I do. But the Affirm Laminate Spray, now as I've said to you guys, you can use any laminate spray that works for you. This is just me and what I use. This laminate spray is great for me. It's like the finishing touch. Sometimes I do my hair and I'm just like, it needs something. Like, it doesn't need product per se. I don't want to put product in it. I don't want to put a cream in it because it's going to be like, especially when it's coming up to the end of the week, when I'm on like day 5, 6, I'm like, I don't really want to keep adding product to my hair. It doesn't seem like it needs it because it's moisturized, but I want it to be shiny. You know, it's just like details. It's just details that that I have within me. Anyway, I spray this on my hair. So this is what I spray. I spray that 3 times on my hair, and then I walk out and I feel like my hair just looks shiny. And then last but not least is my very beaten up styling wax. Oh, so this I just use just on the back, on my sides, and then I rub a little bit of it in my fingers. This is like when I finish, and then I like mess around with it. I've already done this, so I don't even know why I did it again. My hair is kept with a headscarf. That headscarf is the tip. It's it's all the tip that you actually need. You don't need any other advice. Just have a headscarf. If you have a headscarf, you don't need anything else. Like, your headscarf should keep your hair intact. If you're a rough sleeper, if you're like, my headscarf used to fall off my head all the time, but that first head wrap keeps everything just in place. Everything is just done. You don't need nothing else. You shouldn't need anything else. Obviously, the longer your hair is, you might pin curl it, but obviously I don't have any of that going on. I literally just mess with my hair like this, and then I go. That's it. And if I feel like I've got a kink in my hair, or I slept wrong and then like I get lines here, I just go and use my wrap. A little bit of this, a tiny bit of this, and then I just brush out the kink, and I put a little bit of wax there, and I just set my hair for maybe 5 minutes, and it's gone. Like, I do not use any heat on my hair in between my wash days. There's no need for it for me. I know that some people that have like maybe a longer fringe might want to know how to maintain that, so I'll probably work on doing like a short series where I'll bring other models that have longer hair, so you can see how to maintain it that way. Because in terms of this is it. This is as good as it gets for my hair. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next one. Bye guys.